Hey everybody, it's Deanna, and I have an anecdote about when I went to a Wheel of Fortune cattle call. And this was maybe about 2007, 2008, somewhere in that time frame. This was in downtown DC, and Pat Sajak and Vanna White had been there in the Wheelmobile, and I believe they participated in a parade. But when I got to the location to do the audition, they weren't a part of it. They had a fake Pat called Marty and a fake Vanna called Heidi. And they were drawing, I believe, people had names and numbers on raffle-style tickets, and they drew those. And this was crowded and loud, and people were being really obnoxious. And one of the people was an elderly woman who was using a walker. And she was taking her time to get to the stage. And people were heckling her. One guy said, "She ain't here, call me instead." But she made it to the stage. And people were like booing and heckling for wrong answers and whatnot, wrong letters being called, and yelling so much I could barely hear myself think. It was, I heard a voice, "Pick me! Pick me!" And I'm thinking it's a little kid imitating the adults acting up. I looked to see where the voice is coming from. It was a woman who looked like she was in her 50s, hair starting to go gray. "Pick me! Pick me!" Oh my God. I swear to God. And I wasn't called. I believe only 3 people were called, and they had like a few rounds, and that was it. All that, and that was it. All said, I don't want to be on Wheel of Fortune. Even though the audition process has changed and they've made it where it's online now, I don't want to be on Wheel of Fortune. It's not that I wouldn't win. I know I'd win because I am really good at solving those puzzles because I do crossword puzzles regularly and I do word games regularly. It's not that. It's just, I don't have the personality to be on that show. They want people who are loud and outgoing and very energetic, and I'm very cerebral. I'm in my head a lot. I think a lot. I'm introverted. I'm quieter. And they're looking for people who are the complete opposite. And then when Pat Sajak was hosting, he'd like to have people do anecdotes about their families. And I'd be like this. He'd be like, "So tell me about your family." "They're fine." That's all you're going to say? Yeah, that's all I want to say. Because I tend to not be very personal in my revelations. I mean, if I feel comfortable revealing stuff, I will, but yeah, I'm not one of those people like, "This is my family, da 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 da." Like, and I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I don't have pets. I had a pet in the past, but I don't want any pets anymore. It's just me. And yeah, and they want people who are really perky and outgoing. I'm not perky. People like, I open up more when I get to know somebody and feel comfortable, but for the most part I'm quiet and very in my head a lot. And another thing is, I don't see the contestants as my competition or my fellow competitors. The only competitors I see are Bankrupt and Lose a Turn. I've noticed with the Ryan Seacrest games, that wheel's been hitting Bankrupt and Lose a Turn so much. I swear to God, I don't know what that's about. I swear. But I could probably solve the puzzle with like only a few letters on the board. That's how good I am at that. So it's not that. It's not that. And when people make a bad guess, I can't pretend, "Oh, good job, Sarah, you're doing great. That's a good guess, good guess." I'd be like, "Why'd you pick that letter?" Why'd you pick that letter? Or when they solve the puzzle, they try to solve the puzzle and get it wrong. "What were you thinking, man?" That makes no sense. Did you see an L in that word? or something? Lordy. But oddly enough, I've been watching the Ryan Seacrest episodes more than the Pat Sajak ones. Probably because, I was used to Pat and his version of the show has been on for so many years, and it's not like Jeopardy where there are repeat contestants. I mean, they sometimes have special weeks where they do have repeat contestants, but not like Jeopardy has. And I thought I was just going to watch 1 week of Ryan Seacrest to see how he's doing, but I've stuck with it, and I like it so far. And I didn't realize that he and Vanna White were friends. So they can, you know, have that banter. And yeah, I thought they didn't know each other. And I thought it was going to be like, you know, a new host getting used to the regular co-host. But yeah, they've been gelling pretty well on the screen. And then when the wheel keeps getting bankrupt, like I mentioned earlier, he's been funny about it. Like saying, need to check the wheel out. Yeah, they do, because I don't know why it keeps getting bankrupt. I swear. And what else? Oh, they like to do icebreakers to start the meetings at my current job, the monthly meetings. And I think one of them was about what game should we like to be on, and someone said Wheel of Fortune, and then I answered Jeopardy, and I said I want to be on Jeopardy because Jeopardy involves intelligence, and I think that pissed that person off. Hooey. But it does. I mean, Jeopardy, it's intelligence and luck. Wheel of Fortune is just luck. Because anybody can, as long as they pick the right letters and they don't hit bankrupt or lose a turn, anyone can solve that puzzle. And I like a challenge. LeVar Burton had guest hosted Jeopardy. He was one of the guest hosts. And it unfortunately didn't go well for him. And he mentioned he was going to produce and host Trivial Pursuit. And this had been a rumor for years. And I was wondering when it was going to come on, and it finally did. It came on earlier this month, and he's been doing a good job. I think this is more his thing. It's more in his wheelhouse. He feels more comfortable hosting Trivial Pursuit, and I wanted to check it out for a few episodes to see. And the questions are so much easier than the board game, because I tried the board game and it is hard as hell. I wouldn't mind being on Trivial Pursuit because it seems the questions seem very easy in their level of difficulty. And I'd actually have a contestant anecdote, because I can tell LeVar Burton that I'm a fan from my childhood of Reading Rainbow and a fan of Star Trek The Next Generation. And I grew up on both of those shows. And that's my contestant anecdote. I'm sure every young Gen X and older millennial would have the same anecdote. And there's Scrabble too. I wasn't sure how Scrabble would work as a game show, because it's a very cerebral game. It involves a lot of thinking, and it's not a fast game. But they're making it work, and Raven-Symoné has been a very good and entertaining host. I can tell she's having fun in the role. Though some of the people they've had on Scrabble, they don't seem to be regular Scrabble players. They don't know how to clump those words together, get those little words clumped together, and get some big points from that. I saw a few people do that, but not many. But yeah, that's another show to consider. Game show to consider, because I keep taking the anytime test for Jeopardy and not getting on it. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I would rather stick with watching Wheel of Fortune instead of trying to be on it. And especially after that one cattle call audition, no thank you. So that's it from me, folks. If you've liked this video, please hit like. You can comment, you can subscribe, and you can share it. Have a good day, folks. Take care.